So, hey, everybody, I'm with Karissa and Nadine. Uh, Karissa, do you want to introduce yourself and your gym and what you're all about? And then Nadine will have you do the same.
So I'm Karissa. I am living in Beaverton or the Portland, Oregon area. I own Spectra Gymnastics, and we are a very specialized small studio that caters exclusively to children with special needs or all abilities. We were hit very hard with all of this, just like everybody else, and trying to do everything that we can to stay in contact with our clients, provide resources. Right now we're focusing on free resources just to get immediate information and help out to those families. And then thinking about the long term of what do our families need right now and how can I help? So that's what I've been up to right now during all of this.
Awesome. And Nadine, you share a little bit about you and what you're doing right now.
All right. Hello, I'm Nadine Burgess. I own Spokane Gymnastics in Spokane, Washington. And we've been keeping up on the whole COVID situation, but we're completely blindsided by how long we would have to be closed. We originally had a plan for 2 or 3 weeks. And then when it was announced by our governor that all schools would be closed for 6 weeks, that definitely changed our whole business model plan. Everything went out the window. We have a pretty large staff, about 25 full-time employees and 82 total. And so my first primary goal was just to take care of them right off the bat and restructure who we could keep on working remotely and what we could offer to our customers, because we do have a very large customer base, mainly instructional gymnasts. And so we got into just trying to provide those free resources. I didn't want to try to charge my customers right now because our whole economy is just staggering right now and struggling through this whole crisis in Washington state, restaurants, everything with stay home, stay healthy. And so for me, it's about give, and, staying afloat during this time and being able to reopen, but what we can provide and just collaborate. And I have a really blessed relationship with Karissa. We've worked together over the past year because she was helping me start a special abilities program within my gym. And so she's been so generous with me with all these resources, and she's so creative with ideas and very different from what I've been able to do in the past, but that I'm excited to learn from her. And then through this whole evolution of the business and everything that everyone's going through, she shared those resources with other clubs. And so the one thing that I found was missing is, as I was trying to do these home-based things and setting up my camera and learning Zoom and YouTube and all these things in my empty gym as I'm here by myself, I wanted to find other resources. What are other people doing with classes, with resources? What are things that we can give to our customers? Because I can only imagine all those kids bouncing off the walls at home.
Right. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about today, is just coming up with some ideas for you guys out there to use with your virtual classes. I think we need to adjust to a little bit of a new normal just for a small period of time, let's hope, which means your program, your gym might be closed, but your program doesn't need to, right? We can move it to be virtual. And that's what we're going to basically talk about. It's going to be a kind of relaxed conversation about different ideas that Karissa and Nadine have. Now, you also have a group that I highly recommend everybody join if they want ideas. What is the name of the group, guys? Your Facebook group?
Karissa. Look at it.
It's quite a long one. It's like,
yes, I know.
Ideas. You know what? I'll post a link for it.
I'm making it up. Sorry.
I think it's something like ideas for professional gymnastics, ideas for virtual class, something like that.
It's long, I know.
Called Gymnastic Pros Engagement Ideas and Resources for Home-Based Gymnastics, I believe.
Awesome. And just so you know, I will post a link so people can find it, and we'll put it as part of the video. So I guess you guys are running virtual classes right now. So, what are the first things that you guys, from a process standpoint of getting it going from a program standpoint, moving your program from obviously live in person to being, without getting into the technical, this is how you shoot a video, but like what was your first thoughts when you were putting together your online version of your program? Either one of you want to jump in?
We're doing a couple different things, and right now I actually haven't decided which route I want to go as far as launching a full virtual program. I'm also looking at the My Gym is Online and the Jackrabbit features, and in addition to Facebook Live. And so those are things I'm considering, but to get immediate information and resources and videos out to our clients, for our preschool program, we're doing a live weekly, actually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live stream circle time for our preschoolers. And we've invited all of our clientele to join that because many of our kids are preschool aged and not actually in our preschool program. So the families so far have really liked the Facebook feature that they can log in and comment, and it's really interactive. So that's what we were able to start up like instantly and immediately. But we're also talking about ways that we can do pre-recording for families so that they don't necessarily have to have a schedule of logging in and participating in a class. They can choose to do that and do it live, but also giving them the option to record it and watch it on their own time. So those are some things I'm doing right now. For my staff, a lot of them have reached out and expressed they want to contribute to making small videos for a lot of different areas of development and learning. And what we have is just a shared Google Drive resource folder among staff. And if they're at home and upload or wanting to take videos, they can just upload it and I can watch it when it's done and figure out how we're going to utilize that content.
Cool. And Nadine?
Yes, and we're not doing full virtual online classes ourselves because that would be me standing in the middle of the floor shooting those, and that's not what I'm focusing right now. We do have a lot of staff that are doing those home-based videos, 5-minute tutorials, 10 minutes. We're doing a lot of the things just to stay connected, that personal relationship with our students, where I sat in the foam pit the other day and read a story. And those are the things that we've been posting just to stay connected with our students because it is such a disruption for them. And then I think Karissa should definitely talk about her social stories, what she's doing with that. I'm open to any virtual ideas and things that we can do. I've been on the search for different resources to share. As I mentioned, I don't feel that right now is the time to ask my families to pay for something. So everything that I am sending out to them, even if it takes an initial investment from me and my club, I'm willing to do that. We did get referred, and I looked at the program over the weekend, and we're using Gymnastics USA has a platform, and so I did purchase that, and that's connected in where there's an upgrade where my students that are currently enrolled are then with myskillchart.com, so I can track their progress. And so it's a little bit more of that engagement, and that's something that I've chosen to do. We are a Ninja Zone club, and so Casey is doing an amazing job with this Amazing Kids 360 platform. They're rolling that out, and for those that continue to be subscribers with Ninja Zone, they're providing that resource. And that's one thing that we'll have the choice to charge our people, or it's something that we're just going to choose to continue to provide as we go. But we're open to all the My Gym is Online, all those things. I just think the collaboration and working together and being open to new things. This is different for all of us. I really didn't want to teach handstands through a video camera or even an online platform. I miss the kids. That's what my first choice would be, but that's not our reality. And so thinking of what is going to be helpful for our kids and adapting.
And I think many of you guys don't know this, but I had some experience with television, and one of the things that's really important is that I don't think it's necessary for you to go, okay, I need to do an hour-long class. It's not necessary, right? Kids, if my little guy is 2.5 years old, he'll watch the same thing, the same short 2-minute video 100 times in a row, right? He'll again. It's like over and over and over again, he'll watch it. So what's more important is that, and I think just so you guys don't exhaust yourselves, is you come up with, hey, this is how to do a handstand, or this is how to do a forward roll. And you can do a video, and it might be 2 minutes long. On television, 5 minutes is a long time, right? If you're ever, I don't know if either of you have had the wherewithal of being, or the wonderful opportunity, if you can call it that, to actually spend time on camera, on live TV. But 5 minutes talking about a subject is a very long time on television. It's very, in fact, most times you get about 3 minutes, and you just get right to the point of a very specific thing that you're trying to talk about. So my advice when everybody's looking to do this is, don't look to fill out an hour-long class, right? Break down all the different things that you do and make it a specific video. Now, you might do an hour, you might have an hour's worth of very specific things. And that, to be honest, is probably enough for any mom or any kid for a week or more, right? Don't be thinking, oh man, I've got to do 4 hour-long classes every single day. It's actually overkill, and people just won't engage with it.
I actually have, I had a great conversation with one of my employees earlier today, and we were talking about some of this virtual content and what we wanted that to look like. And at Spectra, how we organize, because we have a very large, diverse group of abilities and learners and learning styles. So what we do, or what we've done in the past, is have a educational monthly theme that we put up on a big chalk wall. And we've done emotions. Last month was confident kids, and this month was going to be mindfulness. So we're talking about how can we use this overlying theme and break it down into small, short videos of, here's like your warm up. And, we thought about, we're going to do a couple yoga moves, a couple mindfulness mantras, but doing a short clip, and then possibly another maybe 5-minute clip of building an obstacle course in your living room, walking the kids and parents through the process, using home materials like paper plates and plastic cups, and just creating that content in a structured way. But yeah, like you're saying, not old.
Yeah. Because what ends up happening, I think, when you do like a 20-minute long or a 40-minute, there ends up being like 30 seconds of moving around and pushing things around, and people are like, what am I watching here? And that doesn't need to be part of it. So, set yourself up with a mat if you're going to do a very specific thing. Film talking through it and going through it all, and then stop the video. And then set up your next thing and do your next thing, and then do another one. And it's far more engaging. I don't know if many of you have seen, movies. New Zealand is very famous for this. New Zealand used to be made fun of back in the day when they were trying to make movies, where you'd watch a movie, a New Zealand movie, and it would be like 90 minutes long, and there was maybe 20 minutes of dialogue, and the rest of it was like lots of shots of nothing really. And it was so boring. I used to hate watching New Zealand movies. Thankfully, Lord of the Rings came along, and it became a bit more action-packed. But really it's important to be very specific and be engaged and then off, in my opinion, from a production standpoint. Because the thing is if the kids miss it, they can go back and rewind it. That's the difference, right? So, Nadine?
Yes.
Your thoughts?
I think
throw you under the bus.
Yes, there's that first initial thing about, we want to take care of our business and our staff and everything else, but to just understand, taking a step back and understanding what the parents are going through. There's a huge disruption in their life, and when they are maybe not engaging in the way we want or behaving the way that we hope, as we've provided and given for years, and to understand that people deal with stress differently, and some people shut down, some people engage, some people lash out, and what is happening with the kids. It can be a really positive time for the kids, or it can be a really disruptive time. And so to be able to provide just something in that consistency and that relationship that we have, where we are trusted, we are their teachers, their coaches, and to sometimes not think so much about the business part, but just reach out to your kids and give what you can right now. Try to reassure them, because this is a very uncertain time for all of us, with our businesses, with our jobs, with our communities. We don't know when this is going to end and what the world is going to look like when we reemerge. But what we can contribute right now, we really do have a great opportunity and a gift to offer, and we can help form some positive from this. We would not wish this ever again, or it's, you know, what we're dealing with right now. So taking a little bit of a step back instead of trying to just go, which I am guilty of doing, and just being a little bit more mindful about what we're deciding to put out in the world.
Yeah. And understanding that service right now should be our first thought, is how do we serve our communities? How do we serve our industries? How do we serve? Because really, we're so hamstrung on what we can do that we might as well just give what we have. And from a gymnastics standpoint, it's knowledge, and it's a knowledge of kids. It's a knowledge of what's going on. There's something special for a little one who's stuck at home and was like, oh man, I'm not going to school anymore. I don't know what's going on. Oh, there's Coach Nadine. Oh, that, you know, they're going to get excited about that, and give that a little bit to them. And, you know, I think that's really good. And I think, Karissa, you have a thing called the social stories that you're doing. If you could share a little bit about what you're doing with that.
And I don't know if I can share my screen, but I'm happy to pull
Yeah,
up
you
the
can.
document.
Sure you can.
Do it.
Go on, do it.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Sorry,
Oh.
guys. 1 second.
There we go.
Right. Okay. Okay. It's going to take me a minute to pull it up because I wasn't quite prepared to share that, but that's totally fine. So actually, and this kind of goes into it, and I didn't mention this, but this is my website, and we just put this virtual gym button up on our website and gave all of our parents access to it. We gave them the password. It's just Spectra 2020. We're not charging for this or anything, but this is just like our home base for where all of our resources are. And for the social story, there it is. And when I've mentioned this to other people and sharing the document, social stories are intended to help students understand a social scenario that's going on or a change that's taking place. And so we created one specific to gymnastics and at Spectra. And when I had to announce my closures, we had this already prepared for families. And so I've shared this document. We also have a template that's blank. So if there are any other gyms that want to use this, I've made this public. And you can edit it. But I think that this isn't only beneficial for students with learning challenges, but this can really help any young child in anybody's preschool program better understand what's going on. And the pictures that go with the story they're very simple, they're very basic, but the pictures provide a talking point for the parents and visual reference to help have these conversations. So the story just says, I'm not able to go to Spectra Gymnastics right now so that I can stay safe and healthy. I have so much fun at Spectra and I can't wait to go back. Spectra helps me move my body, make friends, and have fun. I'm going to miss doing gymnastics at Spectra for a while, but I can find safe ways to move my body and have fun at home too. So then the parents just get to point to these pictures and talk about things that they do at the gym. And then we always add an emotional component to it. And so we talk about, we never want to assume how a child's feeling. So we give them a couple different options about when changes happen. It's okay to have different feelings about it. And here's some things that students might be feeling. And so this is another great opportunity for parents to kind of talk about, like, can you point to how you're feeling about this right now? And then validating the kids, like, it's okay that you're having all these different feelings about it. And then always ending on a positive note that I feel good when I'm at home doing extra time with my family, and that I'll see my friends at Spectra soon. And we thought it was really important to include everybody's picture at the bottom. And I've had some great parent feedback saying that the kids really enjoyed looking at everybody's pictures. And some people have got this posted up on their refrigerator. So I highly recommend others doing the same. And just, one more free thing that we can send out to families that's a really effective tool, and it helps us stay connected with our community.
Cool.
Is there anything else you want me to share while I've got my screen on?
Not that I know of. Is there something that I don't know of that you would like to share?
I don't think so. I mean,
that's all right. I think we
can go right to our website and click on that with the Spectra 2020 password and go through the drives, and use that if you'd like.
Awesome. All right. So, what I think is probably, and we can wrap this up, we can have another conversation next week or something if we want to, but what I think is really important is that, I'm seeing some gyms are coming up with like online day camps almost, where there might be a story time, where they read stories, where they make games which might not even necessarily be about gymnastics directly. It might be shuffleboard on the tiles. It might be all sorts of different things. I think what's important is that we stay engaged with our parents and potentially engage with our communities, because why not like spread the love, right? Because it's not just our parents' kids that are bouncing off the walls, it's our community's kids that are bouncing off the walls. And I think there's real value in building a positive goodwill in the local community, right? And if you guys might be the only source because the schools are closed. I've heard some horrible stories of schools are closed and kids are having to do online stuff, and they've got to log into 5 or 6 different platforms to do their classes. And it's a little bit it's a little bit difficult. Where what we can be if we organize ourselves and just let our hearts, which is the reason why most people got into gymnastics. None of you got into it to make money, got into it for the love of the sport and the love of the kids. Get back to that and share it online. And I think there's lots of things we can do online. We can't spot, right? We can't, put a hand around, it's going to be okay, but we can be a presence in their life, which gives kids a little element of normalcy. And like I said before, I can imagine that there's kids, Karissa, that see you, and kids, Nadine, that see you regularly, and it'll make their heart skip a beat seeing your guys' faces, because you're such an important part of their lives, even if it's just once a week. And I think, for me, just to wrap up before I let you guys have a last moment, that's where I really believe that there is opportunity. There's no set rules to this, right? We're in uncharted territory. What I think we can say is that people who are in the gymnastics and kids activity industry are doing it for the love of kids and the growth of kids. And if that is where your heart is when you're putting your ideas together, that's perfect, right? Just engage the kids, let them know that things are okay, give them things to think about and work on. It can be hardcore, learning how to do a handstand, to doing forward rolls, to reading books, to coming up with other different games and all sorts of things. Let the creativity run, and let your heart open to connecting with the kids and staying connected during this period. So when you reopen, they come back, and potentially maybe some of the community comes in too. So Nadine, do you have any closing words?
No, that summed it up perfectly. I've always said, I do child development by way of gymnastics, and that's been completely different from a lot of the industry for a very long time, but it's worked for us. And I think that's really what's going to carry everyone through, since we're not able to do the gymnastics in the traditional sense that we wanted to before, but just think of the child and how can you contribute, and the gymnastics part will come back. We'll be back.
Right, absolutely. Karissa?
Yeah, I think that This is just forcing us into new opportunities to think differently, to be creative and innovative about how we can continue to educate and teach in an environment that we are just exploring brand new. So uncharted territory, but I see this as an opportunity that to come out better and more innovative.
Yeah. So that's it, guys. I didn't want to go too long. I think we're at about 20 minutes. So, you know, please, hopefully watch this. If you need to go back, rewind it. Hopefully we gave you some ideas and some thoughts to go on. This is uncharted territory. It's okay to be stressed out. It's okay to be thinking, oh my gosh. Reach out to to the gymnastics community and the different groups that there are out there. The gymnastics marketing group is becoming more than just marketing at the moment as well. Make sure that you click the link and join Nadine and Karissa's group as well, so you can share some ideas and collaborate in there. But let's support each other. As Nadine said, this is not going to go on forever. We will get through this. And as Karissa said, this is an opportunity to maybe try some new things and maybe stretch ourselves a little bit. It's something that we ask our kids to do all the time, especially on teams, to stretch, to be adaptable, to be flexible, to have courage. And I think all those things that we teach our kids every day in gymnastics is something that we should be thinking about for ourselves right now. So with that, I hope you have a good day. Hopefully we've given you some good advice, and get to work making some kids happy.